Hello everyone, my name is Brian Whittenton and I am a graduate research assistant working for the Mississippi State Department of Plant and Soil Sciences. My poster presentation today is on using remote sensing technology to predict peanut pod maturity in Mississippi. A little background, peanut cultivar selection plays a critical role in production success. However, we do not currently have a way to predict whole field maturity accurately. The Georgia 06G peanut cultivar is produced on about 90% of peanut acres according to the University of Georgia Extension Service. Current harvest assessments are made by collecting small samples and extrapolating those samples to estimate whole field maturity. This technique can result in poor estimations of field scale maturity and harvest readiness, possibly reducing peanut production and grade. Peanut cultivars are predicted to vary in growth and maturity across geographic and meteorological regions. Therefore, there is a need to develop remotely sensed maturity estimation techniques to aid producers in accurately predicting whole field maturity and scheduling of their peanut crop harvest. A remote sensing technology estimating crop maturity may improve a peanut producer's ability to determine maturity and improve his grade and seed quality. The hypothesis and purpose of the study is to refine tools for evaluating peanut maturity to better predict harvest timing in Mississippi. A few examples from the last few years. In Georgia in 2018, a study found that red edge band was the most sensitive to peanut pod maturity. This band is used in calculating the normalized difference red edge, simplified canopy chlorophyll content index, nonlinear index with red edge, and a modified nonlinear index with red edge. Also, research in Brazil in 2020 used satellite imagery showed that all vegetative indices they examined correlated with peanut pod maturity. The results of this study suggest the ability of satellites to predict variability in peanut pod maturity throughout a commercial production field. Materials and methods for this research presented on this poster was conducted in 2020 at the Mississippi State R.R. Foyle Plant Science Research Center located in Starkville, Mississippi. We also had a location in Stoneville, Mississippi that is not included on this poster. Peanut cultivars evaluated include Georgia 06G and Algrano 914. A small unmanned aerial system constructed by Mississippi State students was flown carrying a MicaSense Red Edge MX camera on each day before plants were pulled and assessed for pod maturity using the peanut pod profile board. The growing degree model was used and examined by Rowland et al. In 2006 to show to have a high degree of correlation with the peanut pod maturity index. The maturity index model was also developed by Rowland and takes the sum of the pods in the mature columns of the profile board and divides them by the total number of pods to give a ratio of mature pods per sample. The vegetation indices were calculated from the MicaSense imagery and compared to pod maturity using the maturity index formula. Results of this study show that maturity index was non-uniform across the cultivars examined. For Georgia 06G, this was due to an increase of new pod growth around 1700 growing degree days and no increase in brown or black pod coloration during the same time frame. The cultivars were separated for this poster and grouped together based on indices examined. You can see that in the graphs underneath the overall growing degree day graph at the top of the poster. Most vegetative indices reacted and correlated better with the Algrano cultivar and maturity index rather than 06G. This could be due to skewed data of Georgia 06G during that 1700 to 1750 growing degree day time span, where the maturity index and model calculated that it had a decreased percent of mature pods than the other later timings dates that were examined. I would like to thank Dr. Zerwiller and all the members of this research group for their help and dedication to further this research. This research will be repeated this year in Stoneville, Mississippi, and again in Starkville. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you have a wonderful day.